Good morning. Welcome to this liberal religious congregation, Unitarian Universalist Church West. My name is Colleen Gresk, and I am a member of the Board of Trustees. As we gather, let us acknowledge that the history of what we call Wisconsin includes the tragic treatment of the indigenous peoples who were careful stewards of the land from before the first European settlers arrived. Those of us who are not indigenous benefit from that tragic history. We also acknowledged our need to address racism, which continues to lead to the violent deaths of Black and Indigenous peoples. We know that anti-Black racism and settler colonialism perpetuate inequalities, injustices, poverty, and exclusion in U.S. society. We commit ourselves to becoming an anti-racist faith community dedicated to equity and racial justice. In the words of Erica Hewitt, all of us are welcome here. All of us are loved. Some of us are bringing our best selves to this space, and some of us are bringing our struggling selves, including pieces we might be ashamed of. All of us are welcome here, and all of us are loved. Some of us already have open hearts, and some of us aren't quite there yet, because our hearts have gotten a little beat up this week, and might have forgotten how to trust and open. Your heart is welcome here, no matter how bruised. We welcome you among us. All of us are imperfect, but we're here to drop our defenses and trust that what happens in worship is powerful and life-giving. Together, we affirm that this day and our being together can make each of us braver, more compassionate, and wiser than when we woke up this morning. We welcome you here. Whether you happen to be visiting UUCW for the first time today, whether you're here in person or online, we hope that you will feel right at home. If you'd like to connect further or ask a question, you can talk to us after the service, send an email to visitor@uucw.org, or you can use the yellow form that you received when you entered the sanctuary. Note that our sanctuary is a place where all ages belong all the time. The space here on the carpet at the front and the table over at the side is available for you to spread out and get comfortable. In addition, the service is streamed into the community room, so if you need more space, you can make use of that. For those who'd like other options, the nursery is open, and after story time during the service, children grade 8 and younger will be invited to head off with their leaders. There's coffee and social time after the service, and all are invited to stay and chat. I'll be there, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Today, we will not be sharing joys and concerns in real time, but we invite you to use the QR code on the order of service or the sharing side of the yellow form to tell us what's happening in your life. The yellow forms can be placed in the offering baskets or in the box on the side table anytime during the service. You can also light a candle over the table. There are just a couple more announcements which are also printed with your order of service. You may have noticed the colorful history timeline that's on display in the foyer, which was beautifully created by Kelly Bognar, and the history boards that are displayed in the community room. These will be up throughout February. If you'd like, you can add a Post-it to mark your involvement in a past event or to suggest something that you think should be included. You can also play UUCW History Bingo. So there are cards and instructions in the community room, and we'll be drawing a prize at the end of the month. This Tuesday, February 21st, is Election Day, and it's critical that you vote. There are some handouts in the foyer with more information. In January, we held a listening circle in order to heal, grieve, and express feelings about the recent ministerial departures and transitions. If you were unable to attend, the transition team is offering some additional times in the coming weeks, and they are asking for RSVPs so that they know which times work best. You can find more information in the e-news from this past Thursday. Also, the nominating committee will have a table in the community room after the service. They're happy to answer any questions that you have about nominating members of the congregation for the Board of Trustees or other committees within the church. It really is a privilege to gather together and this morning to hear from a guest speaker about how to add the practice of loving kindness in our lives. And now I'll turn things over to today's service leader, Eileen Gleeson.
Good morning. My name is Eileen Gleeson, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm a member of our worship ministry team that coordinates services at UUCW when our minister is not in the pulpit. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce our pulpit guest, Taizan Alford. Taizan is a Soto Zen Priest, singer-songwriter, and a longtime member of the Fox Valley UU Fellowship in Appleton. He is delighted to be with us to share insights, songs, and stories about the power of loving kindness. And I might also mention that he was supposed to join us pre-COVID, and he was the speaker that was canceled when COVID hit. So we're so happy to have him back with us again today. Now as we center ourselves for service, I'd like to share with you a few simple words from Thich Nhat Hanh. The more you understand, the more you love. The more you love, the more you understand. They are two sides of one reality. The mind of love and the mind of understanding are the same. Now, if you'd please rise in body and or in spirit to join us in singing our hymn, number 188 in our gray hymnal, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and Jim is going to help us with this.
There are instructions before we start this. It's a round, so we're going to sing it through once as a group first. I don't know why this isn't on. I'm trying to speak very loudly. So we'll sing it through once as a group, and then I will tell you how we'll do the round. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Good, we remember this one. All right, we'll do it as a two-part round. If your first name begins with letters A through J, you can follow me on that side of the room. K to the end of the alphabet, follow Jim on this side.
All right. Wow.
And you are going to start things off.
You can do it.
Ready? Yep. All right. Everybody,
K through Z.
K through Z, you're following me. A through J, following Ruben. Ready? K through Z. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, yet again come.
Yay! Oh, I'm staying up here.
Yeah, you stay.
The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. It holds the center of our faith, reminding us of all that binds us together in the ways of truth, justice, and love. Everyone belongs with the container of this faith. Please read along with the chalice lighting words from the order of service. We light this chalice to find inner peace, love for each other, and faith in ourselves. Also to be welcoming to those we meet, and to have kindness of all living creatures. So gather around this light of love as we share this time together.
Good morning. I'm Dave Cicero, Director of Lifespan Religious Education here at UU Church West, and my pronouns are he and his. Sophia here has agreed to help me today, and I welcome any other future guest readers, young or old, to present stories here at this point in the service. Now, about a year or so ago, Sophia actually gave me, as a gift, the book we're reading today. And it seems to me and us that adding kindness to our daily lives could really never be a bad thing. It's always a good answer to most problems. We understand that this can also be a difficult thing to practice sometimes. But that's why we call it practice, isn't it? So kindness is something we can always work on improving without needing to worry about being perfect. And you'll probably hear some of those same messages from Zen Pig.
Hi, my name is Sophia Pugins, and my pronouns are she and her. And today I will be reading Zen Pig, The Art of Gratitude, written by Mark Brown, illustrated by Amy Lynn Brown. I'm reading this book today with permission of Puppy Dogs and Ice Cream Publishing. Eons ago, on a green glassy knoll, lived a pleasant little pig who always seemed quite whole. He enjoyed his life much more than most because he took the time to look at things close. Wherever he was always there, ready and willing to be fully aware. That Zen Pig is special, is what others would say, yet Zen Pig denied and said, "I'll show you the way." And when you care for each other as much as yourself, and never lose sight that love is true wealth. And when you speak, choose your words with care. Only kindness and compassion will ease others' despair. We all make mistakes, so forgive yourself fast. Don't expect to be perfect or happiness won't last. Never waste time thinking of the future or the past. Just enjoy this moment and all that it has. Be thankful for all that you have. There is no need for more. You have everything that is needed to walk through happy's door. When someone is in need, don't think, just act. Give all that you can and don't hold back. Listen to my words and follow the path. Then you too will sit atop the knoll with the green grass. Namaste. The light in me loves the light in you. The end.
Thank you, Sophia. And I'm very grateful for having your help today, reading that story for us. And so I'm wondering now, what's one way that I can follow Zen Pig's advice and add loving kindness to my life today? And another thing I'm wondering is how I'll remember to do that when I find myself frustrated or tired. It's important at those times as well. So what do you wonder as a result of hearing this story? Now, if you're staying here for the rest of our worship service, and the middle schoolers will be staying, this is a slight change to the announcement you heard earlier this morning, but if you're in the elementary school, you'll be heading downstairs for RE classes. If you're staying here, you can continue to ponder that question that I had while we hear more from Eileen and our guest, Ty. So now I'll ask Sophia to light our RE lantern. And in class today, the elementary students will have a chance to share some of their ideas about how to add loving kindness to their lives today. If you'll join me, please, in singing our children's recessional, The words are printed in your order of service. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go, as you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace.
So I'm so happy to be with you. For the meditation today, we're going to be playing a recording of the Metta Sutta. Metta is another word for loving kindness. And these are said to have been the actual words of the Buddha. I'm not sure if they are or not, but the first part of it says, this is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness. So it might answer some of those questions of like, how do I apply this? Enjoy.
This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world.
Today's reading is from the 13th century Sufi mystic, Rumi. The Sunrise Ruby. In the early morning hour, just before dawn, lover and beloved wake and take a drink of water. And she says, "Do you love me or yourself more? Really, tell the absolute truth. He says, there's nothing left of me. I'm like a ruby held up to the sunrise. Is it still a stone or a world made of redness? It has no resistance to the sunlight. The ruby and the sunrise are one. So be courageous and discipline yourself. Work. Keep digging your well. Don't think about getting off from work. Water is there somewhere. Submit to a daily practice. Your loyalty to that is a ring on the door. Keep knocking, and the joy inside will eventually open a window and look out to see who's there.
Thank you, Lori, for that wonderful reading. It was really good. I always love any excuse I can to put a Rumi poem in there. I'm going to do it. I started reading Rumi probably back in the late 90s. And for a while, I would use it like I don't know what we call it, like the I Ching, like when am I going to just sort of randomly open the book? And so I have several books that are kind of beat up. So this song I wrote, this is called Start to Love Again. And I wrote it after a conversation I had with a friend of mine whose grandson just had not been able to get sober, stay sober. And I mean, I've been sober for 40 years, so I know that struggle is really real. And so I just remembered, what that was like. And this kind of suffering, the Buddha talks about the, their suffering, and the cause of suffering is greed. It's like wanting things to be just the way they are, like how I just, and I, think about my life now, like how I hurt the only ones I really love, just trying to get my way, just trying to ease my own pain. I hurt other people. Anyway, so that's what this is about. Aching soul, breaking heart, washed up on the shore, all alone, nowhere to go, no way to get there. Please, please help me cry to the vast and luminous sky. I hurt the only ones I have ever loved, just trying to ease my pain. I need to find a way to start to love again. Slowly, slowly, he finds his way, remembers what it's like to live. Deep breath in the summer air, eagle flies to the treetops. Please, please help me cry, be the man I long to be. I still hurt the only ones I have ever loved, just trying to ease my pain. I need to find a way to start to love again. Each day, yeah, it's another chance to begin anew. Letting kindness lead the way, it takes the very next step. Pretty soon is run the race. It's time to come home. Please, please help me cries. Love on this my dying day. the only ones I've ever loved. Just trying to ease my pain. Maybe we can find forgiveness and start to love again. May we find forgiveness, start to love again. Thank you. So it is really great to be with y'all today. Thank you so much for your invitation and your warm, warm welcome. I didn't know if I was going to need to do a land acknowledgement or not, so I'm not. But I want to maybe affirm my vow to keep working in the direction of justice and equity. I also want to acknowledge all of my teachers and my teachers' teachers. You know, there was a history of, in World War II, the Buddhist priests from my tradition, were taken away to internment camps. We actually went to Heart Mountain last summer and saw that. I mean, it's pretty horrendous, the things that we've done. So just to acknowledge that I want to work in every way that I can to work towards justice and equity for people. And also just to acknowledge, their sacrifice and what they did to, should I stand further back? I feel like I hear a echoing. At any rate, so I'm grateful to my teachers and my teachers' teachers and everybody that brought this teaching to me. So I always like to read the little paragraph that I write before I start, because I think, man, I really like that. So here it goes. So this is about, when in doubt, add loving kindness. You might be wondering, what does loving kindness have to offer me? It's so cliche, so passé, so de rigueur. Everybody's putting their little quote up on Facebook or Twitter on, this is what you need to do. This is what loving kindness is. This is what the Buddha said. The one I think that the Buddha is most often misquoted is, it's true, hatred doesn't cease by hatred, but often it says, hatred does not cease by hatred, but by love. And it's you can't go right the way to love. It's hatred does not cease by hatred, but by non-hatred. You start with that. Sometimes you just have to stop. You just have to stop doing the harm. That's the first part. And that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I've found in this practice of loving kindness. So metta is known as loving kindness, and it was first brought, I first became aware of it in the late 90s. I was teaching yoga, and I went to a yoga retreat at Mount Baldy in California. And Sharon Salzberg, who I always think of sort of like the mother of loving kindness in the U.S., she studied and she brought it to us. She wrote the book by the same name, Loving Kindness. And I got to see her, and I kind of was I don't know, man. It's so sweetie pie and so sappy, and I don't know if this is for me. And another, and so, I went and I liked it, and I liked her, and I thought, oh, this is a good practice, but I don't know, it's a little too, can't go forward a little bit, and I went and saw Tara Brach. Are you guys familiar with Tara Brach? Is an insight meditation teacher in Madison. I'm not even sure how long ago it was, a while back, maybe 15 years ago, and she starts off, and I don't know, if anybody, anyway, she has a wonderfully sweet, soothing voice, and she's just I invite you to take a seat and find your breath. And I'm oh boy, here we go. But I'll tell you, that sweet tenderness is what I actually need You know, like it's actually a Hafez poem. He's kind of a contemporary of Rumi that talks about putting the club down. You know, put the club that you beat yourself with, just put it down and just make art. Just make beauty. So, this particular practice that I'm going to introduce you to, this out of curiosity, how many people have done the metta meditation before? Okay, good. Okay, so you'll carry the group. So the thing is that it is really, really helpful. It's especially helpful in situations where, you know, like what do you do on your day-to-day basis to be kinder? You know, because like stuff comes up and stuff doesn't go my way and people are not acting the way I want them to act. And I'm like, you know, and I don't always say that. One of the kids in the class was like, I say stupid things all the time. I'm like, yeah, me too. You know, so I say stupid things all the time and I have to make amends. And then I'm like, oh, you know, but whatever. So we just keep coming back. So I want to find practices that help me not have to make amends so much. You know, I want to find practices that help me do the right thing to begin with, right? So this is one of those. So the idea with metta is that if, like, everybody has the desire to be happy, right? That's kind of inherent, like we all want to be happy. And so this simple desire to be happy can lead the way to liberation. It can lead the way to, you know, like complete enlightenment, if you will. So, so you start with yourself. So I'm just going to, if you don't mind, I'd like to like kind of lead us in it because I think it's fun. So you can sit however you want. If you want to sit, if you want to kind of settle into your seat, you're welcome to. But if you just want to sit like you're sitting, that's fine too. So just take a couple of breaths. And if you don't mind, I'm going to ring the bell 3 times to start, and then I'm going to ring, when we're done, I'll ring it once. If I remember, I'll try to remember. So there are usually 4 key phrases of metta. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I have ease of well-being. So if you like, you can get a sense of your own presence. And if you like, you can extend this loving kindness to yourself. If that's hard for you, you can imagine somebody that loves you unconditionally. Maybe a pet, maybe a grandparent, and you can imagine them saying this to you. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I have ease of well-being. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I have ease of well-being. Next, if you like, you can extend this metta, loving kindness, out to someone that's easy to love. Maybe a mentor, or a small child, maybe again your pet. Extending this metta meditation out to someone that's easy to love. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you have ease of well-being. May you be safe, free from danger. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you have ease of well-being. Next, if you like, you can extend this meditation out to like a more neutral person. Maybe somebody that you see, maybe like going to the store. Isn't it great? I was thinking when I was doing this a while back, like it's so great that we can go to the store again. Like just go to the drugstore, go to the grocery store and see a neutral person. Because there was a while I wasn't seeing too many people. So to this neutral person, may you be safe. I think this person, just like me, has hopes and dreams, struggles and sorrows. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you have ease of well-being. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you have ease of well-being. Next, if you like, you can extend this metta, loving kindness meditation out to a more difficult person. I wouldn't start with the most difficult person. Just start with somebody like maybe you don't like the jacket they wore today. Don't make it too hard. Start easy. May you be safe, free from danger. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live at ease of heart. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you have ease of well-being. Going out further, if you like, you can extend this metta, loving kindness meditation out to everyone in this room. Maybe everyone in this building. May everyone here be safe, free from danger. May everyone here be happy. May everyone here be healthy. May everyone in this room live at ease of heart. May everyone here be safe and free from danger. May everyone here be happy. May everyone here be healthy. May everyone here have ease of well-being. Now, if you like, you can extend it out to all beings everywhere through space and time. May all beings everywhere through space and time be safe. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings everywhere be healthy. May all beings everywhere throughout space and time have ease of well-being. So just notice how you feel just after that brief meditation. I think that's so cool. Y'all did awesome. I think we can go home now. What I want to say is that almost nobody comes to Buddhism, maybe even to be a UU, because everything went great in their life. And everything went the way they thought it was going to go. And so, you know, the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism, you probably know this already. There's suffering. There is suffering in the world. And the idea that suffering is caused by desire, or the three poisons, which are greed, hatred, and ignorance. So the three poisons or desire, it's like I want what I want when I want it. And just everybody get out of my way. Just like the song, you know, I hurt the very ones only ones that I ever loved, just trying to ease my pain. So we do these things because we're trying to like get out of pain ourselves, that unknowingly or unwittingly, or maybe we know anyway and we don't care because we want to be out of pain so much, it hurts other people. And I found that this meditation, this metta meditation, this idea of extending loving kindness in the face of difficulty really has helped me. There's a lot of You know what? Thich Nhat Hanh talks about, and Thich Nhat Hanh, as you guys probably know, he's the venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. He just died last year. He's a Vietnamese, I want to say Buddhist saint, but Buddhist priest that was very active after the Vietnam War with peace movements and bringing these teachings of Buddhism to the United States and all over the world. And got off track a little because there was something I was going to say about him. Now I forgot what it was. Oh, well. Sorry, I really did lose it. God, I hate that when that happens. I should stick to the script a little more. I remember. He talks about, like, when, in his book, Anger, he talks about, like, when that anger comes up, that you take care of it like you would take care of a small child. And you would extend this kindness out to yourself, like, oh, honey, I know you're suffering. I hear that you're suffering. So if I'm angry, if I'm suffering, I'm not going to say, like, the thing that I tend to do is I tend to think it's somebody else's fault that I'm angry. Well, they did bloody, bloody, blah, bloody, blah, and I'm angry because that's not right. And the truth is, it's my feelings and I'm responsible for taking care of myself. And it doesn't mean that, like Pema Chodron talks about. Pema Chodron is another Buddhist teacher, and she talks about, you don't want to have idiot compassion. You're not trying to be the doormat, but you want to have loving kindness, real loving kindness. So one of the ways to have real loving kindness is to take care of that, whatever, like, inside that, my own feelings, like the little kid inside of me, like, I just turned 65. So I ought to be grown up by now, but I'm not. So still I have to take care of this little kid inside that's like, I don't like it, it's hard, it's scary, nobody loves me. I mean, like, why is that still there? I don't know. But it's like, it's still there, and I still have to be like, honey, I know you're suffering. I know you're suffering. Let me see what I can do. So that's what I do when difficulty comes up, is I just kind of pour on this loving kindness meditation. And it's kind of amazing to me that I don't even have to mean it when I start. I don't have to mean it when I start. I just do it. I just say it to myself. So I was telling the story in the other room, like one time I was in a meeting. This is, I don't even know how long ago. I was a lay minister at the UU, that fellowship in Appleton, FVUUF. And we were in some committee meeting, and we were in a circle, and my least favorite person came and sat by me. And I'm like, like one of those super perfect people, right? So I'm like, so I start saying this loving kindness meditation. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. May you be happy. And I was paying attention to what, but I just kept saying that inside of my head. And honest to goodness, within a good, like, not even more than 5 minutes, I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with me. We're all good. We're good. I'm just really grateful that it works. Like, it's kind of like, for me, it's like, it's the when in doubt, add loving kindness. All right. So I did this whole historical thing about Soto Zen, because I thought you guys might want to know where I'm from, like what the Soto Zen thing is versus like what other things are. I'll just do a brief, talk about how I kind of got into it, and that is because I thought you might be interested. So it's about 10 years ago. So way back in the 1982, I was drinking and blacking out, and doing stuff I really didn't like. And I was like, I need to stop drinking. So then I went to the place that you go to, and they said, you have to find a relationship with some higher power. I'm like, no, that's not happening. So, but a friend of mine there was like a meditator, And he would talk about how, his higher power. And so then I started meditating in kind of a yogic tradition in the 80s. And it was fine, but it wasn't like yoga, like asana yoga. It wasn't like go to the gym. I thought we were going to go. He invited me to these people's house. I thought I was going to go and we're going to do yoga. Oh, no. This is we're going to go and we're going to chant and meditate. So I did that particular practice for a very long time until one day. So had gotten married, and I set up this big like altar and I'm meditating, and I'm having these crazy, wild, like wonderful, I don't even know what space, like just awesome like meditation. I'm like, oh my God, I know what the truth is. And so then I stop, and then I go out of the room, and I see my husband, and he says something to me, and I snapped at him, and I thought, something's not right here. Something's not right. I just had this amazing, fabulous meditation, and I just snapped at the person I love more than anybody in the world. That's not right. So my point is that whatever spiritual practice I'm doing, if it makes me, the litmus test is, does it make me more loving in my life? Do I take more loving actions? Or am I just full of myself? Or do I just look great in the robes? You know what I mean? Like, I did, like, somebody said, like, when I did ordain, like, my husband keeps me humble. So he's like, so those robes are pretty great, huh? Well, I didn't do it because of the robes. Well, kind of. I mean, they are pretty cool. They are pretty cool. Like the other day, like I went, so periodically I go to St. Paul and I train, this is a more informal robes. This is called a Nagasamwe. Anyway, this is like traveling robes, and I don't wear it all the time. There was a time when I first ordained, I was like, I'm a priest all the time. And now I'm like, if I lived in Japan, that would make sense, but I don't live in Japan, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just wear black a lot. At any rate, it's slimming. And anyway, so at any rate, my point is, the practices that I do for spirituality, I want them to help my intention to be a good person and my actions to be a good person, because we all have the intention to be loving, right? I mean, everybody wants to be loving, and people will say all the time, I think it's sort of like right intention is one of the eightfold path. I didn't get to the Four Noble Fruits. Oh well. I'll come back to it. But my point is, everybody has the intention to love, the ability to love, that's where I fall down every day. And I feel like this loving kindness brings me closer and closer and closer and closer when I remember to do it. Let me go over the Four Noble Truths. I didn't get all the way through them. There is suffering. Help me out. There is suffering. So everybody suffers. We suffer. That's the truth. The cause of suffering is wanting things to be different than they are, or wanting what I want at the expense of everybody else. The third noble truth is that there is a way out of suffering. There is a way out of suffering, and that way out of suffering is the Eightfold Path. So what I was going to say about that is, like, one of the folds is called right intention. And I think it's a little tricky, because I think you do have to have the right intention, but it's not enough to just have the intention. It's like your actions I feel like my actions need to go along with my intention. Does anybody know, am I really supposed to be done at 11 or a little bit before? We don't know, okay. Because I want to tell you, just in case you don't believe me, there are the documented 11 benefits of doing metta. So here we go. You will sleep easily. You will wake easily. You will have pleasant dreams. People will love you. Angels and animals will love you. Devas or angels will protect you. External dangers such as poisons, weapons, and fire will not harm you. Your face will be radiant. Your mind will be serene. You, when it's your time, will die unconfused. You will be reborn in happy realms. So I recommend it. I recommend it when you come up against an obstacle to try applying a little loving kindness. Because I've found, especially maybe it's as I've gotten older, that when I try to get my way, it works less and less and less of the time. Like I can see how it's like, oh no, that's not good. So when I'm not sure what to do, I just add a little loving kindness or metta sutta. It can't hurt. And I figure, like I said, it'll allow me to act in more loving ways. I hope that it will be a useful tool to you as well. You know, and this last thing I wrote down, I wasn't going to read it, but I'm gonna. It might not make sense, but I think it might make sense to some of y'all. Emptiness is like love. It holds everything and is everything. Silence and sound, emptiness and form. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Judith Treband, and my pronouns are she and her. Our Split the Plate partner for February is the League of Women Voters of Milwaukee County, part of a national movement that on February 14th is celebrating more than 100 years of fighting for the freedom to vote. UUCW Split the Plate program is one of outreach and generosity. Through the year, we give half of all undesignated offerings to a nonprofit organization to help us live our UU values and serve our community. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan, grassroots organization active in more than 750 communities nationwide, including ours. The League's determination to educate our citizens about issues and encourage voter turnout has never been more important than right now. Their only special interest is American voters, probably the most diversified nation of voters on the planet. Some legislators in Wisconsin are trying to make it harder for our citizens to cast their votes. From registering voters to overseeing political debates and holding elected officials responsible, the League's work does not end on Election Day. The League believes that people like all of us, not politicians and special interests, should be the governing force in our democracy. If you agree, your donation is essential. Nothing is more powerful than the will of the people who have the opportunity to vote and make their voices heard. The League of Women Voters is social justice in action. For more information about the League of Women Voters of Milwaukee County, see the Split the Plate article in the weekly news or go to their website. If you are participating virtually, go to our website, UUCW, click on Donate, and select Split the Plate from the menu. Or you could text or mail your donation today using the information found here. I thank you for your generosity to the League of Women Voters of Milwaukee County. We will now gratefully accept your offering.
please rise once again in body or in spirit to join in our closing song, number 128 in our hymnal, For All That Is Our Life.
So the closing words come from, I learned them at Zen Mountain Monastery when I spent 3 months there a couple of years ago. It's a variation of the Metta Sutta. My brain is not working. I'm sorry, give me a second. May all beings be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May all beings know happiness and the root of happiness. May all beings live in sympathetic joy, rejoicing in the happiness of others. May all beings live in equanimity, free from passion, aggression, and delusion.